Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Aisha Zahra binti alias. I am from DBF 5E. Today I'm going to present about the summarize of annual report for three different banks, which is its specific under bank background. And as you can see from the slide, there is three banks, which is Qatar Islamic Bank, M Bank, and Bank Muamalat. This is the three banks that we choose, or our group member choose. For the bank background, there is a specific part that has been summarized, and these three banks have similar this element, which is asset, net financing, deposit, and profit before zakat. Since we all know that all bank has their own and has its own total asset, net financing, deposit, and profit before zakat, so there must be has their own specific amount too. So I will not present it here since it is gonna be really detailed, which is need a really long explanation about where the money come from. So it is in the report already. Somehow two Islamic bank and one conventional bank that we choose. It is one of the bank is international bank, one for conventional bank, and another one for Islamic bank, which is it is local. And for conventional and Islamic bank, we choose the bank for Malaysia, and the other one is international bank, which is it is for Islamic bank, but it is national bank, international bank, which Qatar Islamic Bank. And for the first bank that we choose is from the slide that show is Bank Muamalat as a local Islamic bank in Malaysia, where their main two shareholders is DRB Highcom and Khazanah National Berhad, each of them holding 70% and 30% equity respectively. And also Bank Muamalat ranked 10 out of 16 Islamic bank in the country in terms of asset size is, which is 22,898 138 billion ringgit. That is the Bank Muamalat asset size. And next, the second bank that we choose is M Bank Berhad. This bank is conventional local bank, as I told before, and M Bank known as the one of the biggest financial gathering in Malaysia, and also their single biggest investor. They have their single biggest investor. It is invest in AMMB Holding is Australia ANZ Group with a stake of 23.78% as at 30 June 2014. And for the last one is our international bank. It is Islamic International Bank. And why we choose this bank, it is because Qatar Islamic Bank, the bank use term of IOF, and the bank is the main Islamic monetary organization in Qatar, which their net asset is 163,519,211 billion. And Qatar Islamic Bank cover 43 portion of Islamic area and 11% portion of financial market in general. Not only that, as you can see from slide also, it said that the market share of Qatar is 41.1% of total Islamic asset, which is it is one of their ability to continue as the best result and maintain the position as the best Islamic bank in Qatar. And for last is, I want to say that this is the summarize for background of the bank, and each of the bank has their own income with different source since they have different founder, so of course there is a different source too. That's all from me. Okay, for the second one is I'm going to present about the second item in our report, which is component in annual report. And under component in annual report, it is explained about the each of content in annual report from different bank in detail, which different annual report with different content. There is also statement for chairman, board members, and so on. Under this also mostly about general information that has in annual report, since it is summarized, right? So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Alia binti Muhammad Nazaruddin Sham. and now I am going to explain and summarize about the differences of IFRS, which means International Financial Reporting Standard, and FAS, which means Financial Accounting Standard. I'm going to explain for our three banks, which are Qatar Islamic Bank, for our International Islamic Bank, Bank Muamalat, for our Islamic Bank in Malaysia, and Bank for our conventional bank. So, for Qatar Islamic Bank, the objective financial accounting standard of it is a review and implied. The objective is to develop accounting and auditing thoughts relevant to IFIS, is to disseminate accounting and auditing thoughts relevant to IFIS and its application through trainings, seminars, publication of periodical newsletters, carrying out and commissioning of research and other means to prepare, promulgate, and interpret accounting and auditing standard. And it is to review and amend accounting and auditing standard for IFIS. However, some of Ifis recognition and measurement requirements differ from IFRS requirement for similar transactions. For Qatar Islamic Bank, it shows that the IFRS and FAS will make a continuous balance sheet growth. And second, growth driven by multiple products or asset classes. And lastly, it will make strong asset quality and conservative provisioning. Next is for Bank Muamalat to achieve global economic recovery at moderate pace with growing rate throughout various regions and countries. Although there is an improvement in the country, such as United States economy, we can see that the slower pace through Euro area and Japan, but not in China, as they emerging Asia's top engine, growing economy as the country continue. As we can see, the Islamic banking sectors continue to grow and be healthy and make an improvement in global economy, and strengthened support by several plans and strategies to further grow the economic system. Despite the belief demands for this financial service will continue to make further improvement, it will make stable return in equity, healthy return on asset, capital ratios well above regulatory requirements. Meanwhile, for Bank, it will make consistent with those adopted in the most recent audited annual financial statements. Next, I will give to my fellow groupmate to explain and summarize about the other informations. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Izlana Najwa binti Muhammad Izani, and today I am going to give conclusion regarding the differences of component in the statement of financial position. The two components that I will be explained can be referred from the slide, which are asset and also liability. I will jump into the asset component differences, where the Bank Muamalat and also Bank have no differences on their ways to recognize their financial asset. However, for the Qatar Islamic Bank, they have their own ways to recognize their financial asset, which are the difference between the carrying amount of the asset or the carrying amount allocated to the asset transfer and consideration received is recognized in the statement of income. For the second differences regarding the asset component we're going to discuss about the expected credit loss, which is the ECL. Bank Muamalat have three stages of approach based on the change in credit quality since initial. Meanwhile, for the M-Bank, the expected credit loss reflects on an unbiased and probability-weighted amount that is determined by evaluating a range of possible outcomes on the time value of money and on reasonable and supportable information that is available without undue cost or effort at the reporting date about past events, current condition, and forecast of future economic condition. The carrying amount of this asset is reduced through the use of an allowance account, and the loss is recognized in the profit and loss. Meanwhile, for the third bank, which is the Qatar Islamic Bank, they have four measurements on the expected credit loss. The first one is financial assets that are not credit impaired at the reporting date as the present value of all cash shortfalls. The second measurement is financial assets that are credit impaired at the reporting date as the difference between the gross carrying amount and the present value of estimated future cash flows. The third measurement is undrawn financing commitment. And the last measurement is financial guarantee contract, which the expected payment to reimburse the holder less any amount that the group expected to recover. I will also be briefly explain regarding the second component of the statement of financial position, which is the liability. All of this financial liability from these three banks, which is the Bank Muamalat, M-Bank, and also Qatar Islamic Bank, were measured at amortized and also on fair value through profit or loss. So we're going to explain about the second differences, which is regarding the contingent liability. For the Bank Muamalat, contingent liability is where it is not probable that an outflow of economic benefits will be required, or the amount cannot be estimated reliably. The obligation is disclosed as a contingent liability unless the probability of outflow of economic benefit is remote. Possible obligation whose existence will only be confirmed by the occurrence or non-occurrence of one or more future events are also disclosed as contingent liability, unless the probability of outflow of economic benefit is remote. Meanwhile, for the M-Bank and also Qatar Islamic Bank, a contingent liability is not recognized in the financial statement because it cannot be measured with the sufficient reliability and is disclosed in the notes unless they are remote. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amira Nurisa. So today I will present the differences components in statement of financial position, which is equity. Muamalat Bank as a Islamic bank, and Bank Berhad as a conventional bank, and the last one Qatar as a FAS. These three banks will be differentiated on equity based on investment and principal equity. Disclosure for equity for Muamalat Bank, which is the classification of equity investment, must be made at the point of transaction. Equities are classified under the banking book when they are acquired and held for yield or capital growth purposes. The oversight and supervision of investment in equities and equity funds reside within the investment committee authority. Meanwhile, disclosure for equity for Qatar Islamic Bank, which is equity type investment designated at fair value through income statement, include investment which are managed and evaluated internally for performance on a fair value basis. Any investment that form part of portfolio where there is an actual pattern of short-term profit taking are also classified as held for trading. For conventional bank,
We differentiate based on principal equity. The principal equity contract use are equity option, equity future, and equity swap. Next, I will continue with differences of components in statement of comprehensive income. The differences in the income statement for Muamalat Bank is the income comes from income derived from investment depositor fund, income derived from investment of investment account fund, and income derived from investment of shareholder funds. Income derived from the investment of depositor fund are classified under two categories, which are fixed term deposit and other deposit. Fixed term deposit are a term deposit account based on the Sharia concept of tawarruk, commodity muraha, purchase of an asset on a deferred basis either through musawamah or murabaha, and subsequently sell the asset to a third party on a cash basis. Muamalat bank are giving a certain return as hibah. Under maslahah or public interest principle, this is a law because they need to compete with conventional bank. Next, the differences in the income statement for M-Bank Berhad is operate from the interest-based scheme. The source of income or revenue will directly come from balance sheet. M-Bank Berhad also include interest or financing income and similar income and expense for all interest-bearing financial assets and financial liability measured at amortized cost. Interest-bearing financial investment at FVOSHI and in financial asset and financial liabilities at FVTPL. Interest or financing income or expense is calculated using the effective interest method. The statement of comprehensive income for Qatar Islamic Bank disclose the income comes from financing and investing activities such as income from murabaha, musawamah, ijarah mutaniyah bitamlik, istisna, mudarabah, and others. Next, the owners are directly in charge of zakah. The bank does not collect or pay zakah on behalf of its shareholder in compliance with the Article of Association. That's all from me. Thank you.